Hello, everybody. This is from the Lipstick Leadership living room to your living room. I hope you're keeping warm in the winter with all the snowstorm we've been having, and just keep warm. What are you doing these days? What's happening in your world? I'm still curious. Reach out to me. Let me know. Let's have this cup of coffee or tea to see where you're at the moment. Working from home, staying at home. I had a meeting this morning with some people in the Detroit area, and they're staying home, waiting for a lot of snow. But isn't that the time, at least I feel a little bit, when you know the snow is coming, you hunker down at home. It's a quieter time, unless you have a lot of kids. There was one person with a few kids running around the house. But I always felt like this is a quiet time just to relax a little more, to reflect a little more, and actually to schedule time with myself. And that was the question today for me. How do you schedule everything? How do you schedule time with yourself? I like to be on top of my schedule, which is not always possible, but I need to be a little better in scheduling time with myself, because when you write a blog, this is also time spent with myself that I need to carve out of my busy day. It takes time to research, to put it together, to upload it, and then to share it on Friday morning. So this is the quiet time that I need for myself. And then I like to be ahead of the schedule, booking stuff for February. We're already in February. Today is 2nd of February 2022. So many twos, very special day. And happy birthday to Natalie in Switzerland. How do you schedule ahead? I like to look at 3-4 months, and then I know what's coming. Then I feel comfortable. I don't like when changes are happening. I book some things and then they change all the time. Then I get flustered and I make mistakes. I make the mistakes. I take it on myself. But on the other hand, there's always changes and I have to adapt. I have to adapt to my clients' needs, even though sometimes I would like to go to a yoga class or do a yoga session. And then the client says, oh, I can do it that time. I'm like, oh, okay, so there goes my yoga. So how can I keep that balance and that good work-life balance for myself in order to be happy and healthy? Yes, I should also schedule, and you probably too, schedule the time that you need to rejuvenate, to recharge your batteries, and to be fully and efficiently and productively working on the things that you really have to work. Because in my opinion, if you change all the time, then you change and change and change and change, and that also takes time. Rather than having a discipline of booking everything, sticking to it, follow through, follow up, keeping your commitment, that gives you more space, gives you more freedom of doing other things. I learned from many people that when you have the discipline, look at athletes, how much they're training, how much they're on top of things. Yeah, sometimes they have a manager telling them what to do, a coach mainly, but it's about training, it's about following the plan and not deviate. From Michael Phelps on a webinar last year, I learned that if he missed out one day of training in the pool, it would take him 2 days to go back to where he was, missing one day. And the same with the running. If you don't run for a longer time, you have to start all over again. Yes, you remember how it is, how painful it is, how much fun it is, but you have to kind of like go back you're not at the same level as you were before. So that's not always easy. And that's why I love to schedule and keep and not change everything. Maybe that's my frustration today, but it's all okay. We have to adapt. You have to be flexible and agile and just go with the flow. And talking about flow, this week's I have 3 episodes on the podcast. I will talk, or I have spoken already, and I read from the book, Take It From the Iron Woman, how it was for me as the youngest and only female to go to a windsurfing class when I was 17, 18 years old. I took my little moped to on the Lake of Thun, and I went there, and I felt like a tea bag. I was inside the water, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. But even then, don't give up. I wanted to master the windsurfing. I did. It was a lot of fun, but I fell on my collarbone, and it was actually fairly painful. And I still feel it when the weather is changing. So I still have some muscle memory there from that windsurfing. But why don't we try something out of the ordinary and push yourself a little bit? Remember, my word for this year is leap. Now is the time to do something out of the ordinary. I'm also big in the planning for March 9. March 9 is the March 8, sorry, I see, scheduling. March 8 is the International Women's Day. I want to have an event where you can come and join. I will have interviews with interesting females to talk about how it is for them to be a leader, a CEO of their companies. This is in the production, and more is in the production. So more to come, more work ahead, but all fun work. But it's about scheduling. I need to schedule now, even though it's a whole month ahead of me. The more you are prepared, what are the 5 Ps? Proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. That's my mantra. I'd rather be prepared. I'd rather be over-prepared than not prepared at all. But we still have to be flexible. If something comes up, to chime in, and we have the message ready that we want to convey to our audience. That's then the executive presence that comes in. So you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable, but plan and be in charge of the things you can be in charge of. So pick your battles, plan what you can plan, but be comfortable when a change is coming up. And yeah, just be there. And it's okay to say, I don't have all the answers. A lot of stuff coming my way. Hopefully also good stuff coming your way. And the podcast, so I go back to fantastic opportunity I had. Jonas Deichmann. You might wonder, who is this guy? He is the Forrest Gump Alemann, the German Forrest Gump. German guy who was swimming in the Mediterranean alone, 450 kilometers. He biked alone in Russia in the snow, and he had a tent sleeping there only. And then he ran through the whole part of Mexico. So he did many Ironman races by himself to prove that it is possible. And listen to the episode in English, which came out today. And you have a very short episode in Spanish on Saturday coming out. He was the local hero in Mexico. He started out alone, and he had a little wagon behind him. And then people saw him. He was like, what is this? And even a dog was running with him, a dog. And the dog couldn't go with him to Mexico City. So he was on the national news, and somebody adopted the dog. And it was a big celebration with a medal from a mayor. And he even was invited to a house. And the person said, I have a daughter. Maybe she would be good. Some people wanted to marry him. Who knows? An interesting guy, certainly open to listen and also being interviewed. Now that's his next job. So first he did all the physical stuff, And now he is promoting himself. Wonderful person. Hope to meet him one day, to have a coffee with him. We'll see. And I know it will happen. And the blog is in the production. I'll take the time today and tomorrow to write it. So I have scheduled time with myself. I'm wondering, can you schedule time with yourself? Even if it's half an hour, and even if you go for a walk, please do so. It's really, when you work an hour, take 5 minutes off, 5-10 minutes, walk around the house or go outside, and then work another hour. That's how you are most productive. These are my tips for today. We'll see you another time. From the Lipstick Leadership living room to your living room. We love to hear from you, and please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and also Facebook. Thank you for your support, and be happy, be healthy, be safe. Put on the lipstick. Bye-bye. Take care.